Games like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and Dead Space. These are all staples for the horror genre, with chilling stories, gameplay, gore. However, something that has proven extremely difficult to do is to make a truly scary co-op horror game. For games like Resident Evil and Dead Space, as soon as they tried a co-op experience, they completely moved on to action and explosions, and they went away from everything that made them horror, all the spooky things. The reason why it's tricky to make a truly scary co-op horror game is because one of the most used mechanics in all of horror is isolation. You want to isolate the player. But when you add co-op, the issue is now that I have a gamer girl behind me checking my 6, and I can just unload all my bullets in front of me, and I don't have to worry about anything. So how about this? What if there were enemies that one player could see, but then the other player couldn't? This would be an attack on the player's psyche. They wouldn't really know what's a hallucination, and they wouldn't know what's an actual enemy. And much like Resident Evil, you won't have ample bullets, so you wouldn't be able to just run in there spraying, killing all the bad boys dead. You would need to be careful and communicate with your partner about which enemies you both see and which enemies only one of you sees. Because if only one of you sees it, that means it's not real. And eventually you would be put into stressful situations where you use all your ammo because you didn't communicate with your partner well enough, and now Shaggy's walking up to you and using Ultra Instinct and just slapping you right in the face. And maybe even a part of the game where you have to split up, but you can see where your co-op partner is, and you have to tell him which ones you can see, and he has to tell you which ones he can see, so you can both figure out which ones he needs to shoot. But there's also bad boys coming after you, so you gotta do the same thing with him, and that's a lot of multitasking. However, I do know that it's super fun to kill a bunch of zombies, but killing a bunch of zombies ruins the point of zombies. They aren't scary when you're killing a shit ton of them. You need to have tension. For example, one of the greatest horror experiences to ever be blessed upon us, PT, rest in peace. The game was all about tension and detail. You were genuinely scared to just walk forward. You're going through the exact same motions every time, except they're just slightly different, and that scares the shit out of people. I mean, just look at it. Look at that shit's scary, dude. This game would have to take place in a very well-crafted and tight, scary atmosphere. Something like PT, where you can't really run away. You have to face your fears. You can't do anything. There's no dodging. There's no nothing. It's just you and going. The story has to be very good, too. If a story is engaging enough, it will allow the player to want to really get to the end of the game. They want to know what happens, and they feel an accomplishment when doing so. You want to feel attached to the characters. They want to be likable or very unlikable if your goal is to kill them. And usually what happens in these horror games is once you get attached to a pretty cool character and you like him a lot, yeah, creepy crawly comes and eats him dead. So now you hate the guy and you want to kill him, and your goal at the end of the game is to kill him, so now you go kill him. For the story of this game, I would like it to be about the growing insanity of the two co-op players as they delve deeper and they can't trust anything, and maybe even not even each other, you know what I mean? Lastly, you can't pull a Resident Evil 7 and just switch up the whole feeling of the game halfway through. How do you have a game that starts like this?
Holy shit. Okay. Open the door. I hate it because you can't like see down. Oh fuck that, I hear breathing down.
And then halfway through, you're able to just speedrun that shit, and you don't care too much that there's these enemies in your way that used to be super damn scary in the beginning of the game. In a true horror feeling, you don't want to ever be comfortable. You don't want to think that you know everything that's going on. You shouldn't ever really figure it all out and be able to just walk your way through the game. You can't just use the same scary method all the time. You have to switch it up. Whenever the player feels like they have figured it out or that they're comfortable with moving through your horror part, you gotta switch things up. For example, like I don't know, a little enemy that runs around and tries to hide behind all the big gold goons, and he just makes a lot more hallucinations pop up, so you want to kill that guy first so that you don't make as many mistakes. And speaking of hallucinations, you could make the level design sometimes feel like you're going in circles when you're not actually going in circles. You could, I don't know, whenever you're trying to backtrack through the map or when you're going back for something, switch up little different things, make corners different, just so that it always keeps you on your edge. You never know what's truly around the corner. In conclusion, I don't know if this game will sell well. You need 2 people for the game, and so as long as you and a buddy buy it, then it's cool, but not everybody has a buddy, so most people rather wouldn't want to play with Mr. breathes in the mic the whole time and doesn't help you at all until you die. If this game were made, I feel like it would be a masterpiece, and finally a co-op horror that 2 people can experience. I don't know. All I know is I throw a shit ton of money on that. Alright, if you made it to the end, thank you for watching. I very much appreciate it. Second off, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and leave a like. It would help me a lot. And if you want, you could leave a comment and tell me what you think about my game idea, or I don't know, tell me it's shit. I don't care. You can do that. I'm not perfect. Also, if you have any ideas for another video, you can leave them down there. I'm going to look and comment to all of you guys, if there is a you guys. Anyways, thank you. See ya.
Give me just 1 second, I'ma take you way back when I had no help though. All I had was a dream and a pen though. Only one that I would ever depend on is the man in the mirror, I see him. Pain came through the rhyme, not seething. Can't trust when it changed our seasons. I'm a natural learner, I leave him. I'm a well-versed leader on speaking. Said it's all for the taking, I'm feasting.